Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for my top 5 favorite new comics of the week. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups, and I love comic books. In fact, I love them so much, I spend most of my time reading and talking about comic books. In fact, I do the weekly comic book review where I talk about everything I read new for the week. But here, I like to talk about the creme de la creme, the best of the best, the Eric Roberts of the stash. That's right, it's time for the top 5 favorite new comics for this week. At number 5, Firepower number 21 from Image Comics, written by Robert Kirkman with artwork by Chris Samney, coloring by Matt Wilson, and lettering by Russ Wooten. Yo, I have so much fun with Firepower. I will definitively say that 21 issues in, I can definitively say that this is my favorite Robert Kirkman of all time. I dig Invincible, what I've read of it. I kind of like Walking Dead, and I know he's got other stuff out there, but Firepower is just the best of both worlds. You got really interesting concepts and character interactions, and Robert Kirkman does that so well, but he has been accused of just being a bunch of talking heads at times. You can really see this come across in Walking Dead, where there's not so much action, but a lot of drama. And this one is the perfect balance of drama and action. And to make that action excel and soar even higher, we got Chris Samney doing amazing choreography on the fighting, amazing flow throughout. This book is a perfect example of it. The whole first half is a big action scene with the one dude versus another dude, and then this whole second half is the dramatic reveal of what it's like when a dragon has come down from the heavens and taken over China, and what that does geopolitically, and all kinds of cool, interesting stuff with the characters and their relationships. This book is top notch. At number 4, New Think, number 1 from AWA. Written by Greg Hurwitz with artwork by Mike Deodato Jr., coloring by Lee Lowridge, and lettering by And World Design. So New Think is a brand new sci-fi anthology from AWA. Every issue will be written by Greg Hurwitz, but each issue will have a different artist and a different story. We kick it off with Mike Deodato doing amazing stuff with the artwork, but the story is what really sells this one. The basic premise of this issue is that screens are actually some kind of some kind of evil, insidious alien invasion. It's some kind of subtle alien invasion, right? So the rise of television into computers, a computer in every home, and now a smartphone in every pocket. This is all part of this nefarious, malevolent plan to take over the human race, to subjugate us. And it's such a cool idea, and the way it was realized was awesome too. It reads like a short story because there's just a bunch of narration, but the images go along with it very, very fantastically well. This is a dark, horrific sci-fi anthology. Think something like Outer Limits. Think something like Twilight Zone. I think it's been compared to Black Mirror. I've never jumped into that show, but I hear good things. I'll tell you this, though. You're hearing good things about this book from me because I thought it was fantastic. At number 3, By the Horns, Dark Earth, number 1 from Scout Comics. Written by Marcus Nasso with art and lettering by Jason Muir and Steve Cannon on the coloring. By the Horns was one of my favorite comic books of 2021, and this follow-up series has not skipped a beat. It is awesome. So last time in By the Horns, if you never read it, I'll just briefly tell you what it was about. It's about this woman. Her lover was killed through a stampede of unicorns. So now, even though she's expected to be at the village and help out with the work and everything there, she goes off adventuring, trying to find beasts, mythical beasts, to kill, including unicorns. And in that first volume, she learns that not everything is quite what she seems, and she winds up having to go against this evil sorceress. And it was this big, epic, awesome fantasy story with amazing character designs, and then it ended. But they promised that there was more on the way, and I could not be more thrilled. This, like I said, didn't skip a beat. We get caught up with our characters, where they are now, what's going on. The village is starting to be attacked by more random mythical beasts. There's something going on after they defeated the sorceress. Magic is like withering away in this world, and it's causing everything to break down, like the water's running dry and the ground won't provide fertile soil. Things like that, right? So now she, I think her name is Elodie, is being tasked to go out because she's the adventurer and find out what's going on with magic. And this is the inciting incidents and that call to adventure. And it's awesome. The artwork is super amazing. Those character effects, those character designs, they are so freaking solid. The book is colorful. The book is dynamic. It's got amazing, I almost said color and action, but I pretty much just said that. The book is awesome and great work with the characters. This is still one of my favorite books. At number 2, Little Monsters number 4 from Image Comics. Written by Jeff Lemire with artwork by Dustin Nguyen and lettering by Steve Wands. Little Monsters could be accused of being a little bit of a slow burn in its first couple of issues. In fact, I even said the hook at the end of issue number 2 should have been the hook at the end of issue number 1. Alas, it should have probably been one exercised issue, but it is really strengthened up and solidified as these issues progress, and issue 4 might be the best one yet. So it's about a roaming group of kid vampires who have been told that they have to feed on rats and they're not allowed to go out into the sun, and now they're starting to slowly find out that they've been lied to. In fact, humans still exist. They can feed on them. It makes them feel super powered, and so now you got this group of kids finding out for the first time what it's like to drink human blood, and they're becoming kind of addicted to it, right? Great stuff going on, great interpersonal conflict between these different kids in this group. We're getting a little bit of backstory about each one of them as the story progresses along. Dustin Nguyen's doing an amazing job with the artwork. He's doing it in black and white, but he's providing gray tones through like a digitized duo shade or something like that, and it works. It's masterful. The way that this dude can work with watercolor, he does the same thing with this screen tone type application, and it is awesome. It blows me away. The characters are solid, the story is solid, and it keeps ramping up that action. I cannot wait for more. At number 1, The Closet, number 1 from Image Comics. Written by James Tynion IV with artwork by Gavin Fullerton, coloring by Chris O'Halloran, lettering by Tom Napolitano. I was incredibly impressed with this book. I think it's just an incredibly well-crafted comic book. It's got a great pace, it's got great atmospheric and moody artwork, and everything is all funneling the experience into this exceptional direction. So, of course, James Tynion loves telling horror stories involving monsters and children, and that's what this is. It's about a kid with a monster in his closet. Meanwhile, his parents are fighting all the time. It seems like their marriage is just on its last leg. And sometimes when you're in a relationship and you're trying to make it work, you think that maybe a change of scenery, maybe getting a new job or getting a new house or making this change is going to make things better. And we know that it's probably not going to work out that way. But the dad is very excited to start a new life with his family, even though things are shaky with his wife. They're going to move, they got a house, and everything will be fine. And his kid, who is terrified of this monster in his closet, he's like, yo, don't worry, there's not a monster there. Plus, we're leaving anyway. But the first issue sets up that concept, but it sets up the conflict between the mother and the father, and it introduces this idea of this monster in this kid's closet, and the way the monster is rendered, I think, is very creepy and effective. I loved this book. It's mostly from the point of view of the dad. You can just kind of feel the sadness oozing and leaping off of him out of the page and into your soul. At least for me, I was feeling it, man. I really liked his journey. Seems like it's going to be fruitless, and I'm sure this monster is going to fall, because I think there's a parallel there of this kid who is having to listen to his parents fight and argue every single night. That's the subtext of The Monster in the Closet. I think it was absolutely phenomenal. I thought there were some solid books this week, but for me, Closet really set it over the top because amazing artwork and just such a brilliantly pasted and crafted issue. Paced and crafted issue. I loved it. I thought it was great. Another banger from James Tynion, and Fullerton's artwork and the coloring as well from O'Halloran. O'Halloran is the colorist on Ice Cream Man, but look at the shift in technique, the shift in style, because it evokes another type of mood and tone. I thought the book was expertly crafted. It's going to be a 3-issue series. I think it was originally published on Substack. This is his first time in print, and I couldn't be more down for it. I dig it. So that's what I've been reading. Those were what I thought were the top 5 books of the week. What do you think are the top 5 books of the week? What are your favorites? What are you digging? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and join us over at patreon.com/PCP if you want to help support the channel. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Station. Pop, pop, boom.